some breaking news for you.
The warm weather comes.
I hit the street,
earning a triple crown of 3 golden medals.
Can you get me a gym time?
And now let's take a look at our COVID dashboard.
For NDTV, I'm Abby Urban.
Good morning, Notre Dame. Welcome to ND Sunrise. I'm Lyric Medeiros, and I will be your anchor for this morning. Last week, we reported on some breaking news after receiving an email from the Division of Student Affairs regarding tightening campus restrictions in response to the rise in COVID cases. Let's take a look at our dashboard to see if anything has changed over the last week. Yesterday, there was a report of 21 cases, adding to the total of 826. Wow. It seems like the cases have decreased from last week, so good work, everyone. Cesar Sanchez reports on the reactions of students to the new COVID restrictions put in place this past week. Cesar?
in response to rising COVID cases on campus, the university instituted a number of restrictions on student life. This past week, we've started to see the cases slowly drop down. In order to gauge student opinion on the restrictions put in place, I hit the street to ask some students what they thought.
I believe that the COVID restrictions there's pros and cons. I think one of the cons is that it's allowing a lot of students to maybe tend to go off campus instead of stay on campus and do things on the weekends. But I also think it's helping because it's less spread in the dining halls and amongst dorms.
But have the restrictions changed students' habits or improved the COVID case rate on campus?
I don't know. I don't find myself listening to what the university says over what health officials say.
I think as we've seen, cases are still rising. I think I don't think there's really no easy answer to any of these questions. So I at least give credit to the university for attempting to trying to keep everybody safe.
Since the new campus modifications were put in place on February 17th, the COVID dashboard demonstrates a clear gradual decline in daily new cases, with the green trend line indicating the 7-day moving average in positive cases. The question becomes, what's the best path forward for the university?
I think the university should lighten restrictions in the dorms. For example, open up the 24-hour spaces again, because I think that's an important way for students to not be socially isolated right now.
I acknowledge it's a tough situation because I think my rector said it best, when you give somebody an inch, they go a mile. So
Be more honest and upfront with the students. I know I really lost a lot of faith in the administration over the past school year.
For ND Sunrise, I'm Cesar Sanchez signing off. See you next week.
Thank you, Cesar. We love to see that decline. Let's remember to keep doing our part in keeping everyone safe by following our COVID-19 policies here on campus. That way we can slowly work towards easing restrictions. One of the ways we can make sure we are following COVID guidelines is by attending social events hosted by the staff in the Student Activities Office. As a result of the new restrictions, most of the events will be online. However, there are a few that will be in person. Today, from 4 to 6:30 p.m., the Nanovic Institute Film Series will be hosting its second webinar on one of 3 documentaries that delve deeper into issues facing contemporary Europe. There will be a virtual screening of the film Meeting Gorbachev by directors Werner Herzog and Andrei Singer. The documentary puts into perspective today's era of populist leadership. After the virtual screening, there will be a question and answer session with filmmaker Werner Herzog. You can find this event and more at here.nd.edu/studentlife. Wow, sounds like a great one to go to. If there are any aspiring chefs out there, we have the perfect event for you. The Center for the Study of Languages and Cultures is presenting an online Italian cooking class at 5:30 p.m. on Friday, March 5th. Everyone attending will learn how to make the classic Italian dish, pasta alla carbonara. Ooh, did I say that right? I hope so. Maybe I'll have to go to figure that out. Be sure to gather your ingredients beforehand and join the Zoom session from that CSLC website. All right, moving on to our next event. The Film, Television, and Theater Department is offering a virtual talk entitled Beyond Broadway, The Pleasure and Promise of Musical Theater Across America. On Friday, March 5th at 2 p.m., students can hear from Stacey Wolf as she discusses her book and the many benefits achieved through the production and performance of musical theater. Make sure to visit ftt.nd.edu to RSVP for the event. If you'd like to find out about other events happening this week, you can go to here.nd.edu/student/events. It's nice to take a break from studies every now and then, and these activities are a great way to do so. Speaking of breaks, let's talk about the past mini break. As we all experienced, last semester was a challenging one with no fall break and no time to rest. Fortunately, this year our administration has been working very hard to make sure that we do not feel burnt out. One of the ways they've done this is by inserting 2 mini breaks for students to take a day to recuperate and restore. Let's take a look at how some students spent their mini break this past Tuesday. Abby?
In this time when assignments are piling up and exams are on the horizon, students need a moment to rest and refuel. That's exactly what Notre Dame is trying to provide with its March 2nd mini break, a day on which all classes and meetings are canceled. Today I'm here at St. Liam Hall, the home of the McDonald Center for Student Wellbeing, to gauge student opinions and understand the resources and offerings for the day.
In this challenging pandemic, many students are incredibly grateful for a break.
Especially on Tuesday, Thursdays, I have 4 classes now, so the mini break is actually really helpful for me today.
In a departure from the 13 weeks of continuous instruction last semester, the university has decided to offer its students a mini break, a day meant to be enjoyed without the obligations of classes and meetings.
I think this week is when things are starting to ramp up, so it's good to have today to just kind of catch up on some work and get everything done.
At the center of the initiative is the McDonald Center for Student Wellbeing, also known as McWell, a center meant to facilitate the well-being of the Notre Dame community. Although many students have heard of the McWell offerings, some have yet to try them.
I know that they have the kind of rooms you can kind of rent out, the kind of like restorative spaces or whatever they're called. And I've looked into doing one of those, I think, before, but I haven't really looked into some of the other offerings.
I had a chance to speak with Connor Patrick, a co-chair of a marketing and communications task force that helps students to connect with resources like McWell. Connor shared with me a little bit more about the intentions of this mini break.
Overall, the main objective was that no matter what format the events would be in, be they in person, in the dorms, a hybrid of both, no matter what the format, that students would have a way to relax today.
To avoid overwhelming the student body, just a few specific events were offered.
One of them was yoga, another was a fireside chat with Father Pete, and the third was a kind of escape room activity. All of these had to take place virtually because of the current restrictions in place.
But despite these restrictions, McWell is still determined to enhance student life throughout the rest of the semester.
We're very hopeful that in-person activities will be allowed at some point, at least in some sort of way. And especially as the weather gets nicer, there's a lot of great resources on the McWell website.
Ultimately, McWell's current and future offerings all center around their mission to ensure the well-being of students.
A lot of ways to engage, again, both with these events that are designed to bring people together, as well as ways to just completely unplug and just relax on one's own.
I hope everyone enjoyed their mini break and found a way to rest in this challenging time. McWell is open from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Monday through Thursday and 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. on Fridays. Visit mcwell.nd.edu for additional resources. For NDTV, I'm Abby Urban.
Thank you, Abby. It looks like students are making the most out of their mini break. I like that little message on the whiteboard. We are exactly where we need to be. And I know I'm looking forward to the next mini break myself. It looks like we have some exciting sports news this week. After a busy week in Irish sports and many ACC Championships, Amanda and Elise deliver the results and will give us a heads up on what to look forward to in Notre Dame sports. Elise.
Good morning. Here's an update on Irish sports. On February 25th, the women's basketball team triumphed over Florida State 72-64. Freshman Maddie Westbeld seemed to have superpowers, scoring 17 points, 12 rebounds, and 5 assists, including this three-point shot in the first quarter. Right past the side, up in the air, boom, 3 points. Another freshman, Olivia Miles, had her third straight game in double figures with a season-high 11 points. Here, with the shot clock winding down, Miles takes a shot for 2 and gets it twice. There's the first one right there. However, the stars of the show were seniors Mickey Vaughn and Destiny Walker. Walker scored 11 points and earned 4 assists. And here's Mickey Vaughn making great moves in traffic to keep the Irish up by 10 in the first quarter. We're going to miss them next year for sure. On February 26th, the Notre Dame hockey team beat Michigan State 2-0. Goalie Dylan St. Cyr was a brick wall, blocking all 27 shots on net. Here's one particularly amazing save. This game was St. Cyr's second shutout and of the season and 4th of his career. It's a lot. The Irish offense came out firing too. Here we see a messy goal by Landon Slager, originally blocked by the Michigan State defender, find his way to the back of the net to give the Irish a 1-0 lead at the 4:31 mark of the second period. This is Slager's 6th goal of the season. He's been on fire this year. Then, Alex Steve's quick stick work earned him his 14th goal of the season and left the Michigan State goalie sliding to finish out the Irish victory. Maybe we're a hockey school now, too. I don't know, guys. On February 27th, the Notre Dame softball team shut out Villanova 8-0. Junior Emma Clark led Notre Dame at the plate, recording 5 hits and 3 runs on the day. Here, Clark pops in an RBI and then gets a run of her own at the top of the first, giving the Irish a 2-0 lead. Even the pitchers came out swinging today. We were that on fire. Not only did junior pitcher Peyton Tidd pitch a shutout, she also earned her 2nd career home run, a double threat. Get you a pitcher that can do both, right? Look at those outfielders, they were not ready. Finally, on February 28th, the Notre Dame baseball team was all smiles as they beat Wake Forest 10-0. The Irish were setting personal records all day. Here, a massive hit by Brooks Coetzee earned 3 runs for the Fighting Irish. Coetzee earned a career-high 5 RBIs. Jared Miller earned a career high with 4 runs, and David LaManna tied his career highs with 3 hits and 3 RBIs. The Irish finished off their 10-0 victory with a perfectly executed double play to get the final 2 outs of the 9th inning. Textbook baseball. We love to see it. There's also a lot to look forward to this coming week in Irish sports. Here's this upcoming week. Some things to note: ND Sunrise's very own Amanda Brokowski and the fencing team will host a meet on campus starting this coming Saturday. Also, men's and women's soccer will start playing exhibition games this upcoming Sunday. And then here's this upcoming week. And that's all for me. I'm Lisa Honey with ND Sunrise, giving you an update on Irish sports. Now on to news about ACC Championships. Go Irish!
Hi, I'm Amanda Brokowski here with an update on Notre Dame's ACC results this past weekend. Unfortunately, due to an outbreak of COVID among Notre Dame's fencers, Notre Dame's fencing team, myself included, were not able to travel to their tournament. The Notre Dame's men's swimming team traveled to Greensboro, North Carolina this weekend to compete in the ACC Championships, finishing in a tie for 7th place. The team shined with many impressive performances, including junior Josh Bottleberg's swim in the 200-meter breaststroke event. Bottleberg's time broke the previous record for Notre Dame. Sophomore Jack Hoagland excelled throughout the weekend, earning a triple crown of 3 golden medals. Hoagland's outstanding performances earned him the title of ACC's most valuable swimmer and the honor of being the first male swimmer forever from Notre Dame to win this award. Notre Dame track and field also had many impressive finishes this weekend at the ACC Championships in Clemson, South Carolina. For men's track, Samuel Voles earned silver in the 800-meter run. Matthew Carmody earned bronze in the 3,000-meter event, and Kenny Vasbinder earned bronze in the 5,000-meter run. For the women, Olivia Marquez placed 5th in the 30,000-meter run. On the field, Rachel Tanzos won silver in the weight throw for the women, and Josh Stefan finished 4th for the men. In the pentathlon, Jaden O'Brien won the shot put and placed 2nd overall. As a highlight of the weekend, Notre Dame's Colton Crum brought home the gold medal for the high-flying pole vaults, clearing the 5.22-meter height and defending the ACC title that he also won last year. Congratulations to all of the athletes on their amazing performances this weekend. Go Irish!
Thank you, Elise and Amanda. Congratulations to all of our Notre Dame sports teams who competed. You truly have made Notre Dame proud. Good luck to all of the sports teams competing in the next week. We'll be cheering you on from home. Go Irish. Now, we've had a couple of warm days in the past week, so let's take a look if these warm days are here to stay. Chloe reports on the weather today. Chloe.
Thanks, guys. Good morning. My name's Chloe Stafford, and here is your weather report for this week. All right, let's start with the weather today. Our first week of March already has more promising weather conditionings. Today, there's a high of 41 and a low of 27 with partly cloudy skies. There's also 53% humidity today. As we move on to the weekend, we have very similar weather. The temperature is topping out at about 42 degrees on Friday. However, it will get just a tad chilly at night, reaching temperatures around 26 degrees. On to Saturday. We will have partly cloudy skies with a high of 43 and a low of 30. It will be a nice day for the outside sporting events here at Notre Dame, but I recommend bringing a few extra layers if you are planning to watch. And finally, the warm weather comes. On Sunday, we start seeing the weather really warm up, with temperatures increasing all across the nation. Hopefully, this will be the end of this cold winter. Here in South Bend, we will have a gorgeous high of 51 with some sunshine mixed with some clouds and a low of 37 degrees for this Sunday. The start of next week will also give us some great weather. Monday, the temperature will range from 54 to 38 degrees with 58% humidity. As we move farther into the week, we might even see some temperatures in the 60s. And let's look forward to spring because March 20th is the first official day of spring. I am predicting and hopeful for warmer weather to be among us for the rest of the semester. Thank you so much. This has been your Weather in South Bend. Back to the desk.
Thank you, Chloe. I'd love to see those high temperatures. Looking forward to some warm weather, absolutely. All right. Moving on to our student elections. On February 25th, the Notre Dame Judicial Council announced the results of the 2021 election for student body president, vice president, and the approval of referendum 2021. On a YouTube live stream, Judicial Council President Thomas Davis announced that an allegation of misconduct in the election was submitted the night of February 24th, but that no hearing was needed. The allegation was dismissed. The referendum was not approved, and Alan Jomo and Matthew Bissner were elected president and vice president. Congratulations to Alan and Matthew. We know you two will lead our student government well and wish you the best of luck in your new positions. Well, that's it for this morning news. If you ever forget to tune in or sleep in a little extra, you can always find us on our Notre Dame Television YouTube channel under ND Sunrise. There you can watch the full episode with all the information you need to stay updated. As for our airing times, we are here on Channel 57 every Tuesday and Thursday morning. That's it for this episode of ND Sunrise. I'm Lyric Medeiros, and from all of us here in the studio, we wish you a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you, and go Irish.